Hello. In Geometry Triangle Part 2, today we will be discussing about congruence of triangle in this video. In this video, we will be studying about the meaning of congruency, the postulates of congruent triangle, and the discussion about this topic. I am Julie. Now let's go to the beginning of this discussion. Now we will see what is the meaning of congruence. So what do we understand from congruent? Congruent means any two or more figure are congruent only when they are exactly the same, therefore similar and exactly the same. That means their shape and the size will be also same. Not only the shape but the size of the two figures will be also the same. Here we are seeing in this slide two triangles, then two line segments and two angles. So in this we will be discussing about their congruency. Here two triangles are there, two line segments are there and two angles are being discussed and their congruency. Here we see one line segment T is there, TV, and another line segment TM. The length of TV is 4 unit. It can be said as 4 centimeter or anything meter, whatever will be the unit. And the other will be of the same length, that is GM. It can be of 4 centimeter. If this is 4 centimeter, then we will also consider here 4 centimeter. Then we can say these two line segments are congruent. If we put this line over this line, it will fully subside, it will come exactly on over this line. So if these two lines are congruent, that means that if the lengths are equal, then they can be said as congruent. And the sign of the congruency is this. That means this wave represents their similar, that means their shape will be similar and also their size has to be similar. That means these two, any two figure has to be exactly equal. So this equal to sign and with the similar sign also it is there. The shape and the size of two or more figure, if they are exactly the same, then only it can be called as congruent. Now if we consider the case of angle, so this angle JWX, here the value of this angle is 55 degrees. The other angle NWY will also be 55 degree. So these two angles can be said as congruent. They will be exactly the same because this is a line JWY and XWM. In the previous videos we have studied that these two angles will be the vertically opposite angles. So they will be equal. So these two angles can be called as congruent also if the value of the angle is equal. So if this is 55 degree and this one is also 55 degree, then we can say this angle WJWX at point W and NWY, that means this angle NWY, they both are congruent as the value of their angles are same, that is equal to 55 degree. Now, if we consider the case of a triangle, then what we see? Here we have a triangle ABC and other angle triangle DEF. In these two triangles, we see at this vertex D, A, we have 60 degree, and similarly in this triangle at the vertex D, we have 60 degree, which is between two sides, which is one of length 5 centimeter, or you can say 5 unit, and the other side which is having the length of 8 centimeter. And similarly, the same in case of A also. So if A coincides with D, and then here B at this point vertex B, the angle is same, and here also the angle is same, 80 degree, 80 degree, and this 80 degree is between 5 and 6, where two sides which are having the length 5 and 6, and similarly with the corresponding sides of the other triangle. The third one will be also the same. So these two triangles are congruent. If we put this angle ABC on this the triangle DEF, then it will fully coincide. That means these two triangles can only be said to be congruent if all the angles of the triangle and their corresponding angle of the other triangle are same and the sides are also same. That is also the corresponding sides are the same. This is 5, so this is also 5, which is between 60 and 80-degree angle. And say between 80 and 40-degree angle, the side is 6 degree, 6 unit, and here also 6 unit, and here it is 8 unit and 8 unit. Then these two triangles can be said as congruent. Now we see through this picture. Here we have two triangles, a red triangle and a blue triangle. So I said if all the corresponding angles of the two triangles are equal and the sides are also equal, corresponding sides, we are not considering it as equilateral triangle. Don't get confused with that, that if the sides are equal. If these, I am not saying these sides of a same triangle. The corresponding side of the congruent triangle. That means if this side is equal, the corresponding to this, the other side will be also equal. That doesn't mean that this and this will be equal. That can be equal, that cannot be equal. But congruency, if we put this, if we see this side and corresponding this, the other triangle is equal, then we can say it is congruent. And if they are congruent, then one will be covering the other one, like this. You see, this red will be fully covering the blue triangle. Okay, now you can understand. I think with this animation you can understand in a much better way. Now this red triangle has fully covered this blue triangle. So this red triangle and the blue triangle are congruent triangles. So this is the congruency line. Orientation of the triangle can differ. If you see this red triangle, all of a sudden, if you see these two figures, the red triangle and the blue triangle, you might say these two triangles are not congruent. But if their corresponding sides are equal, like if this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to the corresponding side, this one side, and this side is equal to this one side of the blue triangle, then this will be congruent and their corresponding angles will be also equal. Then these two will be congruent and they will fully cover, like this. You see, even in their orientation differs, but if they are congruent, then they will subside one over other, like this. You see, the red triangle has fully covered the blue triangle. Now here again, if we see, that is, in this we can say that A, in this previous to previous slide you have seen, A point is coinciding with P point and the B point is coinciding with Q point and the C point is coinciding with R point, then this red triangle is covering the blue triangle fully. So if they are, then we can say these two triangles, this red triangle and the blue triangle, are congruent. If they are congruent, then their corresponding angles become equal. Angle A equals to angle P, angle B equals to angle Q, angle C equals to angle R. And with this, from this we can get CPCT, we can get this. Angle ABC is equal to angle PQR and also the sides will be also equal. If they are congruent, then their corresponding part. What do CPCT means? Corresponding part of the corresponding triangle. If the one side or the three sides are equal, then three angles has to be equal. Then only then you can say these two are congruent. What are the rules of congruency? Now you see. First is SSS, that we will see between the two triangles we can say they are congruent if their corresponding sides are equal. Next postulate is SAS, that is between the two sides one angle and the corresponding sides, and between those two sides the angle, if they are equal to the other corresponding angle and the sides of the other triangle, then these two triangles will be said as congruent. ASA, that means between the two angles of a triangle, between the side, if it is equal to the corresponding two angles and the side between the two angles, then if they are equal, then these two triangles can be said as congruent. Similarly, as AAS is the angle at the side which is not between them, outside, other than the side between them, the other side, if they are equal to the corresponding of the other triangle, then they are said to be, that two triangles are said to be congruent. And the last one is right angle hypotenuse, that is RHS. This RHS will be side. We will be discussing in the coming slides. If any one of the above postulates can be proved, if the three sides are equal, then the three angles will be equal. If the two sides and the angle is equal to the corresponding sides and the angle of the other triangle, then we can say the other corresponding parts will be equal. So that is called CPCT, that is corresponding part of the congruent triangle. That is this. If these three are proved, then the other three angles we get. If these three are proved that one angle is equal and the two sides are equal, then if we have proved this, then we can say that the other two corresponding angles will be equal to the other two angles will be equal to the corresponding angles of the other triangle. If the two angles are equal and one side is equal, if you can prove that, then after proving that, they will become congruent. That also means that the one angle is equal to the corresponding angle of the congruent triangle, and the other two sides will be equal to the corresponding side of the other congruent triangle. Similarly, in the fourth case and the fifth case. So that is called CPCT. The full form of CPCT is corresponding parts of the congruent triangle. This will become more clear in the following slide. First, we will be discussing about SSS, that is side, side, side of the two triangles we will discuss. Now here you see, here we have two triangles, one in yellow, one in blue. ABC is one triangle and DFE is other triangle. So here you see the side, the value of AB is equal to DE, value of CB is equal to FE, and value of AC is equal to DF. That means all the sides of the first triangle, this yellow triangle, is equal to the corresponding sides of the other triangle. Don't please get confused. This AC will be equal to CB. We have to see AC will be equal to the corresponding side of the other one. So according to this, these two triangles are congruent. That means A will coincide with the vertex D, C will coincide with the vertex F, and the B will coincide with E. So if we write A, B, C, so similarly we have to put this congruency side and we have to say D, E, F. And from CPCT, if we have proved other corresponding sides are equal, then through CPCT we can say that angle A will be equal to angle D, angle C will be equal to angle F, and angle B will be equal to angle E. So here when we have proved this two triangle are congruent from this side postulate, then if we have proved it, then we can also say the corresponding angles will be also equal from the CPCT concept. Now here also the same thing is there. AB is equal to DE. The orientation has little bit differ. From here we can say the corresponding angles will be also similar. Now in this case, it is a very interesting picture. If you see, all of a sudden, if you see these two triangles, JLK and MNL, you can all of a sudden see that if you say that these two triangles are non-congruent. But here, if I say these two triangles are equal. Now you see IJ is 15 centimeter in the other triangle, LN is 15 centimeter. And in point I, the one is of 15 centimeter and other is of 22 centimeter. This vertex I is between this 15 centimeter side and 21 centimeter side, and this L is also between 15 centimeter 21 centimeter. That means that this I will coincide with L, and here you see point N, and here you see vertex J. J is between 15 centimeter and 14 centimeter. So here you see here also 15 and 14 is there. So J will coincide with N. And here IK and LM is also 21 centimeter, 21 centimeter. Now you see that means in this triangle we have sides of 115 centimeter, 14 centimeter and 21 centimeter. And the other one we can say 15, 14, 21. Now we have to settle it down. So from that I will coincide with L, J will coincide with N because it is between 15 and 14, here 15 and 14, and K will coincide with M since M is also between 14 and 21 and K is also between 14 and 21. From this we can write angle IJK. When we are writing angle IJK, so I, since it is coinciding with L, so we'll write like this, L and M. So from this we can also through CPCT we can say the corresponding angles also become equal. Angle I is equal to angle L, angle J is equal to angle N, angle K is equal to angle M. Now similarly here also you see the orientation has totally quite different. In the left hand side you see AB, it is equal to the downward side of PQ. The right hand side AC is equal to the downward side of right hand side QR. So similarly from this is the orientation, that means A will coincide with Q. All the sides are equal. AB is equal to QR. AC is equal to AB is equal to PR and AC is equal to QR. So that way A is coinciding with Q because A is between one line equal and three line equal. Here also Q is between one line and, so you have A will coincide with Q. So when we write ABC, we have to write the other triangle as QPR, not PQR, because A is going to coincide with this. A will coincide with Q. It is between this and three marks and one mark, and also here. So A cannot be corresponding to P because it is between 1 mark and 2 mark, and A is between 1 mark and 3 marks. So A will coincide with Q. So we have to write the notation of this corresponding angles. We have to write corresponding vertices of this congruent triangle. We have to write, if we have written A first, so corresponding it will be coinciding with the vertex Q. So we have to write QPR. From this we can have this CPCT rule. The corresponding angles will be equal to the other corresponding angles of the other congruent triangles. The corresponding angles will be equal of the between the two triangles. So angle A will be equals to angle Q, not angle P, because A will be coinciding with vertex Q. Similarly, B with P and C is with R. Angle C will be equal to angle R. Now we will be going to the next postulate, that is SAS, that is side, and between the two sides the angle. These three things we will be considering between the two triangles. Then we can prove what if they are equal, then they can be said they are congruent. Here you see this picture. ABC, we are considering two sides AB and BC, and between the two side angle B we are considering. And similarly, another triangle PQR, PQ and QR sides we are considering, and angle B and angle Q we are considering. So angle B and angle Q are if they are correspondingly equal. So angle B is equal to the corresponding angle and the corresponding sides are equal, then we can say side, we can say these two triangles are congruent. And if these two triangles are congruent, from the CPCT rule we can say that the other angle, angle A and angle C, we have not considered. Now after proving the congruence, we can say angle A will be equal to corresponding angle, angle P. Angle C will be equal to angle corresponding angle R. And we have considered two sides. The third side AC will be equal to PR. After proving this, we can say. So if these three things, two sides and the angle between it, if it is equal to the corresponding two sides and the angle between them, then we can say the two triangles are congruent. And if we have proved that two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding angles, the other two angles and the one side which we have not discussed before, they will be also equal because of the CPCT concept. Now here again SAS, but here you see the two triangle ABC and QRS. In this you see just the orientation has changed. Here first triangle we are considering at the vertex A, the angle and the two sides where the angle forms. And the other triangle we are considering R. Here in this triangle we are considering this point A and the other is R. And if AC is equal to QR and AB is equal to RS, so from where we are saying at this A point will be corresponding to R point and AC will be corresponding to QR and AB will be corresponding to RS. All of a sudden, if you see these two figures, all of a sudden you can't say these two are congruent, but their orientation is same. So in this you can say they are similar, congruent, and here in CPCT the angles will be equal. Now in this slide, this is one of the example. The vertically opposite angle to AB is this and DE, and AE and BD are two line segments which are intersecting at the point C. So AC will be equal to, is if it is equal to CE, and CD is equal to CB, and these two are vertically opposite angles, and between these two this triangle which is covering these two sides, which is between these two sides, are correspondingly equal, then we can say this through this postulate this is congruent, that ABC is equal to A corresponding to A, E is there, C is the common point, so C will be there. So ABC will be written as DE, EDC. C and C will coincide with that. So this is way we can say that. So through CPCT, then we can say angle A will be equal to angle E because vertex A will be coincide with E and D will be with angle B, and the other side which we have not been discussed before the congruency, that is AB, will be equal to DE through CPCT concept. Now the next concept will be ASA. Now we will be considering true angles and the side between the two triangles we will consider. Now let's see the figure. If two angles and the including side, that is the two angles and the side between it, like in this triangle ABC, angle B and angle C, and the side between these two angles BC is equal to the other triangle DEF of the corresponding part, angle B will be equal to angle E, and angle C is equal to angle F, and BC is equal to EF. Then we can say angle ABC is equal to DEF, because at B, E will be there, and at point C, the notation will be F. The writing notation will be like that. So in this way, we have proved this is a congruent triangle. B will be corresponding to, here B is written ABC. So we will write in place of B, we will write E, and C is equal to F. So we are left with D. So and A is equal to T. So this way we have proved that angle, side angle, we have not proved it, it is a rule that angle, side angle, if they are equal, then we can say these two triangles are congruent, that this triangle will coincide fully with this angle, with A will point sitting on coincide with E, B point will coincide with E, A point will coincide with D, and C point will coincide with F, and then these two triangles will cover each other. And if they cover each other, then these two triangles, if they will cover each other. It is not if, they will cover each other. And so we can say these two triangles are congruent, and according to that CPCT rule, we can say that the side which is not being discussed, that is AB will be equal to DE and AC will be equal to DF, and the angle which the other angle which we have not considered in the postulate, that is angle A, here will be equal to angle D, as we have proved that, showed that these two are similar, these two are congruent. So since these two are congruent, the corresponding angles will be also congruent, that the corresponding part will be also equal to the CPCT rule. So angle D will be equal to angle A. Now if the orientation is differing, so you see point B, angle B is equal to angle E, and angle A is equal to angle D. So angle A and AB is equal to DE. So A will be on the point D, B will be sitting brought on the coincides with E, and AB will be equal to DE. So this point will go this side and B will come this side. So here you say A will be on D. So it's just the orientation is different, but if their corresponding parts are equal, then we can say these two triangles are equal. So D will be point B will be sitting on point E. A will go on this. So it will be, the orientation will change and it will become congruent. So we can get that angle triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. And according to that CPCT rule, AB is equal to DF and BC equals to EF. EF, the other side we have not discussed, and the one angle which we have not discussed, that is angle C, will be equal to angle F. Now in this triangle ASA, which has been given with the values, and M is equal to X, Y, 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. N is 40 at point N, vertex N, the angle is 40 degree and it is corresponding to the vertex X. So N will coincide with X and M will coincide with Z with the angle 30 degree, and NM will coincide with X, Y. Right here, N will sit on this X, this is 40 degree and 40 degree, and 30 degree will coincide with 30 degree. So the two triangles will become congruent. So O will automatically coincide with Y and it will fully cover. So we can say these two triangles are exactly same with same size and shape. So we can say O and M is congruent to O coincides with point vertex Y. So we will write as YXZ, not XYZ, because O will coincide with Y, N will coincide with X, and M will coincide with Z. Because at M it is 30 degree and with Z it is 30 degree. So in this case, through CPCT, we can say the other angle, angle O, will be equal to angle Y, and the other two sides, that is ON, will be corresponding to OX, that will be having the value of 40 degree, and Y with O, and the other one OM will be equal to YZ. This side will be YZ because that O will coincide with Y, which we have not taken the angle, and NO will be equal to YX. So CPCT we have set that. So we have proved these two triangles are congruent. If these two triangles are congruent, then the other parts will be also equal, which we have not considered two angle and one side between them. So other two sides will also become automatically congruent through CPCT rule. Now here you see, here we can prove that it has to be congruent. How we can say that? Now if you see these two triangles which we are considering and this angle, if this triangle is not same, if it reduces, then you see one side also reduces. So it cannot be congruent. So these two angles has to be equal, then only these two triangles will be congruent. If this one angle reduces, so the opposite side will also reduce. So this side will be not equal to this blue side. So in this way, it has to be equal to triangles, has to be two triangles, has to be equal, and the side between these two triangles will be equal. Then the next postulate we see angle side. This is two angles and the side other than the in between side. Here you see the picture ABC and PQR. B and point B we have 40 degree, and Q we have 40 degrees. So B will be corresponding to Q, and AC. C point is R. So we are taking two angles, considering two angles to the side other than the between side. So AC and PR. So in this way, if they are correspondingly equal, then we can say angle ABC is congruent to ABC will be equal to PQ, since this is B and Q are having 40 degree, and C is R, and AC is equal to BR, then these two triangles are congruent, and in this rule we have through CPCT we can say, then after that we can say this angle will be also equal to other angle equal to angle P, and the AB will be equal to PQ, and BC will be equal to QR. Now in this C, the orientation has differed. So point P is corresponding to point X, A is corresponding to point X, B is corresponding to Y, and we are taking this side between these two, that is XY, we are considering AB, and C is corresponding to Z. So if these three are correspondingly equal to the other angle, that is point angle C will be equal to angle Z, and angle A will be equal to angle X, here we have written it, then we can say these two triangles are congruent. So with A corresponding to A it is X, corresponding to C it is Z, and AB is corresponding will be YZ. So here we have this way, we have this notation ABC is congruent to a triangle XYZ, and through CPCT rule the other angle point at the point vertex B, and here at vertex Y, they will be also congruent. So angle B will be equal to angle Y, and the other two side AC equals to ZX and BC equals to YZ. Now here AAS, that is angle side, we can prove in one of the triangle. Here we can prove this. Now you see, in this triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle, and a perpendicular has been dropped from the vertex P to the side which is not equal to the other two sides. AB is equal to AC. So since this is an isosceles triangle, so since these two sides are equal, so their corresponding angles will be also equal, which will be the equal side will be making with the other side which is not equal. That is, AB will be making with AC, that will this angle, and here also ABC, which is the equal side of the other one, will be making with the third side which is unequal. So this is the two triangles. So these two angles will be equal. Angle BAC and angle BCA. From here we drop a perpendicular to this base AC, which is not equal to the other two. We drop a perpendicular. So we know that this is 90 and this side is also 90, which has been marked with blue. And now after dropping this, we get two triangles. One triangle is ABD and other we get BDC. Here we have shown it. Now in this you see BD is common, right? This is second. On BD we get two 90 degrees, two equal angles, because this is on the same line, BAC line segment. So this will be, the whole will be 180 degrees. So it is, so since it is 190 degrees, the other one will be also 90 degrees. So we get this angle equal. At the third one, as it is the isosceles triangle, so this will be equal to this. From this, we can say that if two triangles, in two triangles, if the two corresponding angles are equal, two angles of one triangle is equal to the other triangle's corresponding angles, like this, A will be equal to C, and at this point D, towards the A side, this angle will be equal if it is equal to 90 degree, and if this is also 90 degree, and one is common, then this is a congruent triangle. So here we have said that triangle ABD is equal to triangle, is congruent to triangle C. A is corresponding to C. D will be the same 90 degree. So A, B, D. So B will be B, which is a common point. So triangle B, C, B, D with the AAS postulate. Here also, if you see, we will be consequently studying in the other slides also. It can also be said through RHS. R is this. Sorry, this is cannot be proved by RHS. H is here. Sorry, this is okay. This can be proved with this type that, like A, and the side which is not between the two A's, between the two angles, the side if it is outside the two angle other than the side, not within, without the, with outside the angle, between, not between the two angles, then also it can be congruent. So through CPCT we find that AB and AC are equal and BD and CD are equal. That means this perpendicular is dividing AC into two equal parts. Now we will see what's the difference between ASA and AAS. Here also we are considering two angles one side, and AAS also we are considering two angles and one side. So what's the difference between these two postulates? Now you see in this figure, in this two triangles are there. Here we are considering two angles and one side within, and here we are considering two angles correspond, and the side is not within this, between these two angles, it is outside the not outside, it is inside the triangle only, but not between, it is not between, it is away from the two angles, the other side. So that's the difference. Yes, ASA. The S is in between the two A's, that means the two triangles, two angles of a triangle. And here AA is there and S is outside, or not between the. Now we will see the next and the last postulate, that is RHS. R means right angle, H is hypotenuse, and S. Now we see when we have a right angle triangle, so we will have an angle which is having the value of 90 degree like this. One of the angle has to be 90 degree and other two will be obviously acute angle. Like we have two triangles ABC and triangle DEF. At point B this is 90 degree and point E it is 90 degree. So these two obviously will be corresponding to each other and equal. Now we have to see if the hypotenuse is equal. What do you mean by hypotenuse? Explained before. The side which is opposite to 90 degree. If the hypotenuse of the both the triangle are equal, then and one of the side, any one other than the hypotenuse BC, and yet EF is equal. So B will be corresponding to obviously F, E, but C has to be corresponding to F because we are considering BC side and EF side. So this way we get this, that ABC is congruent to DEF because A is corresponding to D and B will be always be corresponding to E because both are 90 degrees. So B ABC, when we are writing this, it has to be written in the same rotation DEF. Now here with the values that has been explained, here you see AB is equal to 6 centimeter, PQ is equal to 6 centimeter of this triangle ABC and PQR, and at the point P, so at vertex B of ABC triangle, it's 90 degree. At point Q or the vertex Q of the triangle Q, PQR, it's 90 degree. And AC is the hypotenuse. Here the PR is the hypotenuse, which is equal to 10 units. So from there you can say that it is a congruent triangle. ABC is congruent to PQR, where B point will subverse with Q. B will be with Q, green and green, and AC hypotenuse will be coinciding with QR with the B. A goes with P and C goes with R. So we get triangle ABC is congruent to PQR. Now in the next slide here you see that the orientation has changed. All of a sudden if you see, you can say these two triangles are not congruent. But it's congruent, only the orientation has changed. Here you see at point of the triangle ABC, at vertex B of this triangle ABC, at vertex B it is 90 degree, and of this triangle PQR, that Q, it is 90 degree. So B and Q, if it is coinciding, and hypotenuse is AC. So PR is the hypotenuse. So A will be coinciding with P, and the C with the R, which is also having 6 centimeter, and C vertex is between 3 centimeter and 6 centimeters. So C will be coinciding with that point of this triangle, which is also having 3 centimeter and 6 centimeter. What is that point? That point is R of this triangle. So C will be coinciding with R because this vertex C is between 3 centimeter and 6 centimeter, and R is also between 3 centimeter and 6 centimeter. So B is coinciding with Q, C is coinciding with R, so A is there. So with RHS you can say R, that right angle for vertex B and angle at the vertex Q, both are equal to 90 degree. AC and PR is the hypotenuse, and BC and QR is given equal to 3 centimeter. So R H S. So here R H S. So AC line will come like this. So that way it will coincide. So in this point you can say triangle ABC is congruent to PQR. Now here again we have taken all together all the postulates. The first will be SSS. Then we are if all the sides are equal, then these two triangles are congruent. So according to this, if the triangles are congruent, then the other things, that all the angles and the vertex will coincide. Here we are considering SAS between the two sides the angle. Here so between the two sides. If this side is corresponding to this side and equal, and the other one is coinciding with this, and the angle between the two sides, they are correspondingly equal, then they are congruent. And similarly, ASA, that is between the two angles of the triangle, these two angles. So correspondingly, if this angle is equal to this, and the other one double marked two, and a single mark side which is between these two are equal, and ASA postulates they are congruent. They can be said as congruent. The other one is AAS, that is two angles, and if the side is not within them, it is not outside, not between them, then they can also be congruent. But the other way around, if you see, SSA cannot be equal. It cannot be said as not sufficient to say that it can be congruent. How we can say that? Now you see, if this is 30 degree, and here is also 30 degree. This is 11 centimeter. This is also 11 centimeter. The other one is 6 centimeter. If the centimeter goes down here, and it remains 6, so when you goes down here, so you see that 30 centimeter doesn't remain 30 degree doesn't remain the same. So it reduces. So you can't say if these two sides are equal and the angle is not equal, so you can't say it is congruent. You can see from the figure. Now similarly AAA and SSA. From this it is not sufficient. You can say that the triangles are congruent. How can you say? First of all, two triangles, here you see all the corresponding angles are equal. But since the sides are not equal, so you see the shape is same, but the sides are different. So this will be two triangles. Here these two triangles, they are similar but not congruent because the shape is same but the size is different. So this is not a congruent postulate. SSA, here also it has been explained once more. Here if you see, ABC is a triangle which is being given here, ABC, right? And this A is the angle, and the side is not, this angle is not between these two sides. Okay, the two triangles are there. Now, if this AC we make another extend it to the same line with this to BC dash. So what we get? We get an isosceles triangle. So if you see, if we consider A, B, C and A, B, C dash, the angles remains the same, right? And this side remains the same. But here if you see, A, B, C and B, C dash is same. Because if we draw an isosceles triangle on this line AC, we have extended to C dash. So what we get? We get another triangle ABC dash. So here you see ABC dash and ABC. Here you see BC is equal to BC dash, right? We have banished this one and we take this triangle. And AB remains the same and the angle remains the same. But here you see this small blue triangle and this bigger blue triangle, both are not congruent. So this is not sufficient to say that SSA postulate is possible. So we cannot consider AAA and SSA, two sides, and the angle which is not between the two sides, if they are equal of the corresponding to of the other triangle, we can't say they can be congruent. Next, in the triangle part 3, I think it will be part 3, we will be discussing of the area of the triangles, about the different formulas of to calculate the area of the triangle. If you like this video and you find it is useful, so please click like and do subscribe and do share with your friends, students, and among the relatives so that the other students get benefited. And any doubt in this video or any questions about this topic, please do ask on the in the comment box, or please do write in the comment box. Thank you very much.